This is Alex, W7FTM, along with Kevin, KE7K, and Jason, K4KU, who will be your for the SWL Trivia Net number 105. This is a directed net, so all traffic should go through net control. Does anyone have any emergency traffic they were holding until the start of the net? If so, please come out. The format of the net is live trivia. One random question will be read over the air to each person who checks in. You'll have 3 answers to select from. And before we get to that, let's see who's checked in so far. I'll just do the question of the night first. If you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be? I'm sorry if I stole this one from the Usenet, but if you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be? Now, Jessica Rabbit comes to mind, but you may have someone else. So let's see who's checked in so far tonight via the text line and email. We have KJ6ARR, German George in Scottsdale. He got his question correct. As the GR2FJI George in Kelagoi, Japan, who is out of town tonight, so he emailed me to let me know. And Little Al in Monterey, California, N6MOT via email, KK7HLD. Dave, Portland, Oregon, same way. KM6MIK, Mike in Central California via email. KF6HDJ, Brent in Pensacola, Florida via the text line. KD6EIR, Wes in Grants Pass, Oregon, of course. N7FGP, Scott in Houston. VK2DY, Robert in Kelly Ridge, Australia. KK7NXV, Timothy in Tulloch, Oregon. N5ZUA, Steve in Houston. K5MUX, Teresa in College Station, Texas. KI7LAG, Patrick in Beaverton, Oregon. Let me drop a second. KC2JPQ, Frank in Lancaster, New York. KE2FTG, Michael in Cornwall, New York. K8 BYU, Roy in Blasdale, New York. And KK7AVK, Victoria in Phoenix. Is there anyone who'd like to join the net? Full call sign phonetically twice, please. Kilo 7, Oscar Golf Charlie, KK7OGC. Kilo Echo 2, Foxtrot Zulu Alpha, KE2FZA. Kilo Delta 5, Papa Mike Uniform, KD5PMU. All right, then it looks like 21. That's a good start. We have also W2AJR Andy in Cheektowaga, New York, via the text line. And again, the question of the night: if you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be? And I believe first tonight is Little Al in Monterey, California, N6MOT. Good evening, everybody. Little Al here, N6MOT here in Monterey. Well, you know what, Alex, I would love to hang out with Yosemite Sam and Wile E. Coyote. They look like they have so much fun out there, especially when Yosemite Sam's biscuits are burning. Anyway, I think it'd be fun. Anyway, I'm ready for a question. Yeah, well, I've had bad luck with redheads, so that wouldn't be a... Anyway, your question, Little Al, is in feudal Japan, lords built homes with squeaky, chirping wooden floors called nightingale floors because A, the national bird of Japan is the Asian nightingale, B, it kept thieves and ninjas from being able to walk around undetected, Or C, it allowed the Lords to find a bathroom at night without having to turn the light on. I might try those myself. What do you say, Lowell?
I'm going to roll the dice. I got the dice in my hand, and I'm going to roll the dice. It says B. I'm going to go with B, something to do with ninjas. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for doing the net. I appreciate it. 7-3, everybody.
Thank you, Little Al, and that is correct. Yeah, they had the squeaky floors in feudal Japan, so it kept thieves and ninjas from being able to walk around undetected. You know what the difference is between a ninja and a redhead? Well, one is a soulless killing machine. The other is a highly trained martial artist. But then maybe you've had better luck with redheads than I have. Thank you, Little Al. Dave in Portland, KK7HLD. Hello, Dave. If you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would you be? Who would you pick? Audio level is pretty good. Whereas in feudal Japan, so it kept thieves and ninjas from being able to walk around undetected. You know what the difference is between a ninja and a redhead? Well, one is a soulless killing machine. The other is...
Her pal, Raleigh likes to throw bombs all over the place. So that would be an exciting situation. KK7HLV.
Oh, sorry, Dave. Somebody had their playback audio on. Oh, I'm good. At least I know my audio is good tonight. What was your answer again, Dave?
KK7HLV. Well, I got to say that I got to go unusual for the States and go with May Hopkins. Although probably I would guess that none of those other ham guys are going to know what that is, but KK7HLD.
May Hopkins it is. Thanks, Dave. Your question is, what was the country of Canada originally called? A, Frostbite Falls, B, the Dominion of Canada, or C, the Canadian Republic of North America. What was the original name for Canada?
Well, gotta say my memory ain't much after my stroke, but I'm gonna have to say C, and hope that my memory didn't fade completely. Thanks again for the great net, KK7HL.
Well, I think that's a better name than the Dominion of Canada, but it's B, the Dominion of Canada. It was named that to link the country to the British Empire. And when they become our 51st state, they'll be the state of Canada, but for now, back then, the Dominion. Thanks, Dave. Mike in San Diego, KN6MIK. Mike, if you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be?
Good evening, Alex. Always a pleasure. KN6MIK, Mike here in San Diego. Alex, I'd have to go with, I got a couple of them, but probably Foghorn Leghorn. I'm ready for a question.
Here's a man of taste. Your question is, which of these elixirs was sold as a health drink in the 1920s? A, tobacco milkshakes. B, radioactive water. C, moonshine whiskey. You know, rheumatism medicine. What do you say?
You know, I'm going to go with A, Alpha. KN6MIK. Always a pleasure, Alex. Thanks for doing the net.
You know, I should probably vet these answers better, because that could be, but we were looking for radioactive water was sold as a health drink in the 1920s. Radithor, isn't that a great name? Radithor radium water was sold as an energy drink and as a liquid Viagra, although it mostly just killed. So it did have that in common with today's energy drinks. Thanks. Thank you, Mike. Brent in Pensacola, Florida, KF6 HTJ. Brent, if you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be?
Oh, let's see. I'd have to go with Garfield the cat, especially on a Monday, because I don't know. I just would be fun to sit and drink coffee with a grumpy cat. Back for my question, Alex.
You know, I have 4 of them over here if you like one. I hope my wife can hear me say that. All right, Brent, your question is, the Bulgarians have a tradition called Prashtapulnik. It involves A, leaving toddlers outside in cold weather to toughen them up. B, reading the bumps on a toddler's head to determine how intelligent they are. Or C, putting a toddler near a table with items from different professions to determine their true or their future occupation. Which is it, Brent?
Oh, I don't know. My instincts are telling me to go with A. Just because I've heard that's a thing somewhere. I just don't remember where. But I'll go with Bravo, Kilo Foxtrot 6, Hotel Delta Juliet.
Yeah, I did actually, A, I did get from, was it Finland, or was it the Vikings who used to do that? Anyway, no, the Bulgarians' Prashtapulnik is C, putting a toddler near a table with items from different professions to determine their future occupation. Now, as soon as they learn to walk, the table is set up, and they head over to the item that most attracts them. For example, if they walk over to a surgical mask, it means that he or she will be a doctor, a musical instrument, a musician, a wrench, a mechanic. And if the kid grabs a large pile of money under the table, then of course he'll be a politician. Thank you, Brent. Go to Wes in Grants Pass, Oregon, KD6EIR. Any cartoon character, Wes, who would you hang out with?
Well, I think I've already hung out with him before. I've met a whole bunch of them that qualify as Snoopy's brother Spike. I think wasn't he in Needles, California? I had to work in Needles, California one time. Pretty sure I've met a whole bunch of Spikes. Seems like a low energy friendship there. Somebody I could, hang out with.
I remember the not very often mentioned Spike from the books. I used to get the Peanuts books when I was a kid. And, yeah, that's an obscure response. I think you got it. Well, Wes, your question is, many people in Greece and other countries think that it's bad luck to let your baby, A, cross a busy street in his stroller by himself, B, look in a mirror, or C, pick your lottery numbers. Well, it could be any one of those. Wes, what do you say?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I'm pretty sure they could pick lottery numbers better than most of us. And I don't buy the stroller thing because anybody knows in Greece or Italy, if the stroller's like a red stroller, like a red Barchetta stroller, then it's perfectly fine for toddlers to be out in traffic with that. So I'm going to say maybe looking in the mirror might be something, a taboo. Back to you. Thanks for doing the net.
Christened in order to protect their soul Now, there is something to that. Mirrors by themselves are okay. Just don't put two mirrors facing each other in the same room. Don't open up that portal and invite trouble. It's like walking down a busy street wearing a bikini. You're just asking for it. Although that's never worked for me, but thanks for Scott in Houston in 7FGP. How you doing, Scott? If you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be?
Good evening, Alex, and hello everyone on the net. I would have to go with, let's say, Jessica Rabbit, but she is a redhead. Ready for a question.
That's okay. It's a good choice. I don't see how you could not want to hang out with. And anyway, your question, Scott, is, in 2016, a man robbed a gas station in Nashville while wearing this for a mask. A COVID mask. B, an Elvis mask. Kind of makes sense. Or C, a toilet paper mask. What did the guy use to rob the gas station?
Well, let's try Charlie on that. Thanks for doing the net tonight. 10-7FGP.
Yep, he robbed the gas station in Nashville while wearing a toilet paper mask. WSMV-TV reported that the man entered a twice-daily gas station just before 2 a.m., went into the bathroom, grabbed some toilet paper, and used it to cover his face as he pulled out a gun and demanded money from the clerk. Please don't squeeze the gunman. No one at the gas station was injured during the robbery, although one man was laughing so hard he soiled himself and had to run to the now paperless bathroom. But I tell you, you can't make this stuff up, as they say. Thank you, Scott. You got it. Robert, Kelly Ridge, Australia. VK2DY. Which cartoon character would you like to hang out with, Robert?
Good afternoon, Alex. This is Robert, VK2DY. I think probably Scooby-Doo. I can just imagine what goes on in that mystery machine and the Scooby snacks and all that. And I think Scooby would be a fun character to hang out with. VK2DY.
Got you down for Scooby. And your question, Robert, is, well, it's that time of year, at least in this part of the hemisphere. The weather is getting warmer, the flowers are blooming, and the government is rolling out a new COVID variant to scare the hell out of us. If you do this, however, you'll be less likely to catch it. A, wear glasses. B, wear loose-fitting clothing. Or C, wear a toilet paper mask. What do you say, Robert?
That's a hard one. Could you repeat the answers again, please?
Sure. To avoid COVID, to help avoid COVID, A, wear glasses. B, wear loose-fitting clothing. Or C, wear a toilet paper mask.
Okay, 2DY. Let's go with the glasses, because I've heard that COVID can affect you through the eye. I don't know. Let's go with the glasses. I'm probably wrong, but let's do it. VK2DY.
Yes, you have it. That is correct. Wear glasses. As you pointed out, germs often enter the body through the eyes, and wearing glasses will help to prevent that. Not 100%, but anything you can do that would help. Thanks. Thank you, Robert. This is W7FTM in Scottsdale, Arizona. You're listening to the SWL Trivia Net on the East Coast Reflector, and we have Timothy in Tillamook, Oregon, KK7NXV. Timothy, if you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be?
This is KK7NXV. I probably would hang out with Space Ghost.
You've been around a while, haven't you, Timmy? Yeah, I remember Space Coast. Got you down for Space Coast. Wasn't that a parody of another, or did they do a later cartoon that parodied that? I forget. And your question, Timothy, is a genetic study in 2015 discovered that these people were related to each other. A, the indigenous people of the Amazon and the indigenous people of Australia. B, the Vikings and the Mongols. Or C, the Yali cannibals of Indonesia and politicians, which are related to each other, Timothy.
I'm going to have to go for A, Alpha, KK7, NXT, back to net.
And you are correct. Yeah, the indigenous people of the Amazon and the indigenous people of Australia are related. I believe some of the Aboriginals of Australia first moved to New Guinea and then later filled to South America. So that's interesting how we all interconnect. Did you know if you're a Northern European, you're directly related to the Persians? Steve in Houston, N5ZUA. Hello, Steve. If you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be?
All right, good evening, Alex. Oh, it'd have to be Bugs Bunny. What's up, Doc? Hang around and eat carrots all day, chill out, living a luxury lifestyle, you know. Ready for a question?
Now you're talking, vegetarian. Your question, Steve, is children are born with only two fears, the fear of falling, and A, the fear of the dark, B, the fear of loud noises, or C, the fear of Kevin Spacey.
I think we'll have to go with Bravo on that one. N5ZUA, thanks.
Yep, that's it. The fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. All the other fears are developed over time. So you got it, buddy. Thank you, Teresa, College Station, Texas, KU5MUX. Which cartoon character are you going to hang out with, Teresa?
This is KE5MUX. Well, you kind of took my answer. I was thinking along the lines of Bugs Bunny, but if I got to take a backup, I'd go, and you'd have to think back, they did a cartoon of it, the Ghostbusters. What's my question, sir?
That's Speedy Gonzales. If you could keep up with them, oh wait, you're in Texas, that probably wouldn't be a good idea. Your question, Teresa, is a voice actor, Peter Robbins, was sentenced to 5 years in prison for offering money to have a San Diego sheriff killed. What famous cartoon character was he the voice for? Yeah, who did Peter Robbins voice? Was it A, Deputy Dog, B, the Grinch, or C, Charlie Brown?
Oh, I'm gonna make a wild guess because, good Lord, who would want this to be the answer? I'm gonna say C, Charlie Brown. 7-3 all, KE5MUX.
Yep, Charlie Brown. He's the guy who voiced Charlie Brown in all those Christmas specials and cartoons. But good grief, it gets even worse. Peppermint Patty, Lucy, and the little red-haired girl are all now claiming that he sexually harassed them, too. Can't win for losing that guy. Thanks. Thank you, Teresa. Patrick, Beaverton, Oregon, KI7LAG. Okay, who would you hang out with, Patrick? Any cartoon character in the world?
Good evening, Alex. This is Patrick, KI7LAG. Hands down, it would be the Tasmanian Devil. I've always been a fan, and I'd love to meet the man in person. Go ahead with your question.
Is he's still touring. I'm just wondering. I haven't heard from him in a while, but got you down for for TD. Your question is, okay, I got a Jeopardy style question for you. The answer is 8%. 8%. What's the question? A, what are the odds of getting a straight flush the first time you play poker? B, what percentage of Americans can name the first 5 amendments to the Constitution? C, what percentage of the 3,400 years of recorded human history have been peaceful without any major wars on the planet?
Oh gosh, I know you're not supposed to make things political on the net, but I am going to go with C. KI7LAG back to net.
Oh, that ain't political, Patrick. That's just unfortunate truth, and that's it. Yep, just 260 years out of 3,400 of our recorded history have been peaceful. We lost 108 million people in wars during the 20th century alone. So, like I suggested last week, they should go back to putting the generals in the front of the line, and maybe it wouldn't be as much fighting. Thank you, Patrick. Frank in Lancaster, New York, KC2, JPQ. Welcome back, Frank. Which cartoon character would you hang out with? Betty Boop? No, just kidding.
Good evening, Alex, and everybody on the net. I would go with Elmer Fudd. Be very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits. I'm ready for my question, Alex. Back to you.
Well, Frank, you got the impression down. That's for darn sure. And your question is, according to a study from the University of Alabama, watching a burning fire, A, helps your eyes to focus better, B, lowers your blood pressure, or C, means you're a pyromaniac and should probably be in jail. What do you think, Frank?
Alex, could you just repeat the question? Because you broke up, right? You focus on what?
Darn pyromaniacs. Blocking me again. It's according to a study from the University of Alabama, watching a burning fire, and the answers are helps your eyes to focus better, lowers your blood pressure, or means you're a pyromaniac. What do you say, Frank?
I'm going to go with B, Bravo. Alex, have a great week. Good talking to you. See you next week. KC2JPQ.
And you got it. That's what it does. You watch a burning fire and lowers your blood pressure to watch a burning fire. So. Oh, you know what the difference is between California PG&E and a dumpster fire? A dumpster fire creates affordable light and heat. For my friends in California. Michael in Cornwall, New York, K2FTG. Michael, if you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be? K2, FTG, Michael, if you're still with us, or maybe I got the call sign wrong, anything close, come now. We may be having connection problems. We'll be calling some more people here shortly, so we'll get back to them later. Let's go to Roy, Blasdell, New York, K8BYU. Roy, which cartoon character would you want to hang out with?
Everybody on the net? K88BYU. I gotta say Batman, because he's got such cool toys. Be kind of neat to hang out at the Batcave.
What's my question?
Right, Batman, it is. Your question is, which of these things is the oldest? Which of these things is the oldest? A, water, B, the sun, or C, the Rolling Stones?
Well, we definitely know it's not Charlie, although they're getting close. And I would have to say I'll go with water, because it was always usually around hydrogen, oxygen.
Yeah, you got it, Roy. That's good. You know, a lot of people would have said the Rolling Stones, but, I mean, a lot of people would have said the sun, and that's actually water. Yeah, the water we drink existed before the solar system was formed. It came from outer space. Thank you, Roy. You got it. Victoria in Phoenix, KK7AVK. Victoria, if you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be? And did you know the Prusht-Pulnik question earlier, or did you hear it?
Good evening, Alex. This is Victoria, KK7AVK. Yeah, I heard the question, and that was I was really surprised, and you actually pronounced the word so correctly, Prusht-Pulnik. And yep, I definitely knew the answer, although I don't remember what my daughter picked. Can you believe it? 18 years ago, we did do that thing then. But anyway, as for the animated character, I would hang out with the genie in Aladdin, because just because he was a very fun character. He was voiced by Robin Williams, and that would be the character I would pick.
Yeah, some people believe that was his best role ever. It was it actually improved that movie by a vast percentage, having him to voice the genie. So I agree with you on that one. Your question is, if you dug a tunnel all the way through the earth from the middle of the U.S., where would you come out? A, China, B, Russia, or C, the Indian Ocean?
Oh, well, geography is not my strong suit. I'm gonna try with China. Bravo. Thanks, Alex. Have a great evening. KK780K, back to net.
Well, that's what they used to tell us when we were kids. What are you trying to do? Dig a hole to China? They were wrong. Our parents, anyway. On the opposite side of the earth, because the earth's tilted, if you went straight down and through it, you come on the Indian Ocean. So bring your flippers and snorkel if you do that. Thanks. Thank you, Victoria. All right, this is W7FTM in Scottsdale, Arizona, along with Kevin, K7K, and Jason, K4KU, and you're listening to the East Coast Reflector Trivia Net, going next to Fred in Reno, Nevada, KK7OGC. Fred, if you can hang out with any cartoon character, who would you pick?
I say you're doing it wrong, and it's a toss-up between Bugs and Foghorn Leghorn, but I'm going with a former Foghorn Leghorn.
And since you brought up Foghorn again, I have a few of his quotes here. That woman's about as cold as a nudist on an iceberg. That boy's about as sharp as a bowling ball. That boy's as timid as a canary at a cat show. That boy's as strong as an ox and just about as smart. Anyway, you get the idea. All right, your question is, back up to the top here. Oh, here we go. What was the name of the professor in the Tennessee Tuxedo cartoons? Remember those? Bonus points if you can name the voice actor who who did the professor? Tennessee Tuxedo, A, Mr. Whoopi, B, Mr. Wizard, or C, Mr. Peabody?
What was the original question, and can you repeat it, please?
I say, of course, boy. It's, what was the name of the professor from the Tennessee Tuxedo cartoons? Remember that? And Don Knotts, he did Tennessee. Tennessee Tuxedo will not fail. But who did the professor? What was the name of the professor in the cartoon?
Charlie on that one. Mr. Wizard on that one. Anyway, no. Yeah. I'm sticking with Charlie on that one. KK70GC, back to net.
Well, the profession is right. Mr. Peabody was a professor too, but what we're looking for is a Mr. Whoopi from the Tennessee Tuxedo cartoons. They go way back. Yeah, Phineas J. Whoopi was voiced by Larry Storch, who played Corporal Agarn in F Troop. And that's something I didn't know until I started researching this question. Yeah, the sidekick to the sergeant in F Troop is Larry Storch voiced Mr. Whoopi. Thank you, Fred. John in Buffalo, K2FZA. If you can hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be?
Hey, good evening, Alex, and everybody out there on the net. This one's a no-brainer. I mean, he promoted Marlboro cigarettes with commercials. He rode around in his car with no seatbelt. He went bowling all the time, and he ate steaks for dinner exclusively. I mean, it's got to be Fred Flintstone. Back to you, Alex, for my question.
Yeah, I knew exactly who you were talking about as you said that cigarette commercial. Yeah, they made I think was it Marlboro? They made the Lucky Strike. Anyway, yep, that's Fred Flintstone. Thanks. John, your question is, the Powerball lottery drawing on March 30th, 2005 produced 110 second prize winners because A, all of the winners had played numbers they found in fortune cookies, B, the lottery machine malfunctioned, or C, the lottery numbers drawn were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, I went with the scientific method, and I had 3 building blocks on the table here, labeled A, B, and C, and the topper picked letter A. Back to you, Alex. Everyone have a great night. This is KE2FCA.
I normally just use animal bones, but that works too, and you're correct. Yeah, it was the Powerball lottery on March 30th, 2005 had 110 second prize winners because all of the winners had played numbers they found in fortune cookies, apparently the same manufacturer of fortune cookies in different restaurants. So the total payout was $19.4 million, with 89 people getting $100,000 each, while 21 others got $500,000 each. Thanks. John, going to Donald in Huntsville, Alabama, KZ4DJC. Welcome to the net, and if you can hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be?
This is KZ4DJC. I'm kind of split between Yogi Bear, but I think I'll stay with Yogi. He's always got plenty of food to eat, so I'll hang with him. Fire away.
Yogi it is. Thank you, Donald. Your question is, what do all past and current presidents of the United States have in common? They all have this in common. A, they were all born in the USA. B, none of them were only children. Or C, they have all put Israel's interests ahead of those of the United States. What do you say, Don?
Remember the Constitution. It is a requirement that they have to be born in the United States. So I'll go with that.
Well, the current ones, anyway, actually the founding fathers, Washington, Jefferson, they're all born in England, and even Martin Van Buren, I think, was born in the Netherlands. So, but yeah, after that, yeah, so actually the correct answer is B. None of them were born only children. Every single president has had siblings. Second born is the most popular birth order for presidents, so yeah. Thanks. Thank you, Noel. Appreciate it. Noel in Victoria, Texas, K85 PMU. If you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be? Are you still with us, Noel? K85 PMU. Okay, then maybe later. Andy in Cheektowaga, New York, W2ECR Andy. If you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be?
Good evening, Alex, everybody on the net. Well, somebody said it earlier, but it'll be Jessica from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. She's not bad. She's just drawn that way. And I kind of like patty cake. Back to you.
Yeah, it's a great line, isn't it? She's not bad. She's, yep. Jessica Rabbit it is. Then your question. Let's see. There are over 12,000 injuries. 12,000 injuries every year in the U.S. caused by A, shark attacks, B, lightning strikes, C, falling television sets.
Okay, I'm going to go with C, falling television sets.
And that's it. Yep, the shark attacks and lightning strikes are minuscule compared to the falling TV sets. People still put them on those TV stands that don't work so well. You're much more likely to be injured watching Jaws than you are by the real Jaws. Thanks. Thanks, Andy. Let's go to Kevin, one of our facilitators in Portland, Oregon. Howdy, Kevin, KU7K. If you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be?
Hey, good evening, Alex. Well, being a raiser of 9 chickens, I'm going to have to go with Foghorn Leghorn. I'm ready for one of your easy questions.
By the way, thanks for checking in, even though you guys are busy logging in. I appreciate that. Your question is, is this easy? I don't know. A Caribbean man arrested for drunkenness was one of the only 3 people to survive A, the eruption of Mount Pelee in 1902, B, the tsunami that hit Barbados in 1946, or C, the Bud Light Challenge. What did he survive?
Oh, I have no idea. I'll go with Bravo, Alex. Always enjoy the net. Back to you. KE7K.
Missed it by that much. It's the A, yeah. The eruption of Mount Pelee in 1902. How's that for obscure history? His name was Ledger, and he was put inside a jail cell in a stone-encrusted enclave, the safest structure on the island. And when Mount Pelee erupted, pretty much laid waste to the entire Caribbean, or at least where he was. And Only 3 people survived, including him. So, thanks, Kevin. Jason, another one of our system controllers in Atlanta, Georgia, at K4KU, also logging the net. If you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be?
Hey, Alex, it's been fun to be with you in the first half of the net here. If I could hang out with any cartoon character, it would be Jerry from Tom and Jerry. And I'll take the question now.
Yeah, cat, that doesn't say much, but that's probably a good thing. Thank you. Thank you, Jason. Your question is, why are there no bathroom mirrors at Disney theme parks? Or most of them anyway. No bathroom mirrors at Disney theme parks. A, people keep stealing them. B, people keep breaking them. C, it keeps the lines moving faster.
I am going to have to go with C. This is K4KU.
Yeah, that's it. That's great. It keeps the lines moving faster. People don't have to stop to cramp and all that, so that keeps the line moving faster, especially during Pride Week. The drag queens keep stopping to ask, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Come on, you gotta admit, that was funny. Thanks, Jason. Larry in Elk Grove, California, KN6JLX, and Stephanie, too, I believe, KN6JLW. Hey, guys, you can hang out with any cartoon character. Who would it be?
Hey, Alex. KN6JLW. Stephanie says Eric Cartman, and I would go with Johnny Quest. Go ahead with our question.
Okay, Harmon and Quest, you guys, your question is, in a comic book from 1947, Donald Duck tries to build an atomic bomb. The comic book was censored because A, it actually described how to build an actual atomic bomb. B, Donald makes a fortune selling hair tonic after his attempts cause everyone in the town to go bald. Or C, Donald isn't wearing any pants. Why did they censor that in 1947 in Donald Duck cartoon?
Alex, I'm going to take Alpha, and Stephanie's going to take Charlie. Thanks for doing the net.
Well, you're not going to believe this, but the cartoon was censored because of B. And Donald makes a fortune selling hair tonic after his attempts caused everyone in the town to go bald because he was trying to make an atom bomb. Now, the government didn't want people to know about the effects of radiation poisoning at that time, so they censored that comic. You can probably find it online if you look hard enough. I'm sure it's out there. Thanks. Thanks, guys. All right, Craig in Oakland Park, Florida, K4MMX. So you can hang out with any cartoon character. Who would it be?
This will be interesting if anyone watches this show. I would love to hang out with Rick from the adult cartoon Rick and Morty.
Well, at least that's better than Archers. Yeah, you got now for Rick, Craig. Your question is, only 2% of the world population has this: A, an iPhone, B, a pet lizard, or C, green eyes.
I'm going to go with green eyes, C. K4MMX, back to net.
Couldn't fool you on that one, huh? Yeah, it's green eyes. 2% of the world population has green eyes. They're more common in women than men, and less than 1% of the world's population have gray eyes, so the rarest of them all. Mirror on. Thanks, Craig. Taking more check-ins for the Saturday Night Trivia Net. Full call sign, phonetically twice, please.
Kilo Quebec 4 Foxtrot Hotel Echo. Kilo Quebec 4 Foxtrot Hotel Echo. Kilo Charlie Quebec Papa Lima.
Alpha India Kevin in Ontario.
Kilo Juliet 5, Juliet November, Juliet 5, JNJ, Tango
Kilo India 5 Whiskey Uniform. Kilo India 5 Whiskey Uniform.
Charlie 7, Zulu Bravo. Kilo Charlie 7, Zulu Bravo.
November 2 Yankee Bravo Sierra. November 2 Yankee Bravo Sierra. Kilo Charlie 5 Charlie Zulu X-ray KC5CZX.
Earlier, and I cannot see the check-in list tonight. So Whiskey 9 Delta Whiskey Hotel, Whiskey 9 Delta Whiskey Hotel.
Zulu Lima 2 Sierra Tango Papa. Zulu Lima 2 Sierra Tango Papa. Okay, let's hold up there and see what we got so far. Now, there was one station, there was a little bit of interference coming in. Is it A3, A or A? I probably have that wrong, but anything close should be about the third person to check in, A3 station. Well, that's okay. I probably just select up to your call sign, so we'll try to get you later too. But we do have Pat in Harvest, Alabama, KQ4 FHG is checked in. KC1QPL, John in South St. Paul, Minnesota. KC4BR on the text line, Brian in Monticello, Kentucky. KJ5 J&J, Justin in Conroe. KI5WW, Lynn in Houston. KC7 ZZB, Harold in Hillsboro, Oregon. Into YBS Benjamin in New York. And welcome Benjamin to the net. KC5CZX Gerald in Lubbock. W9DWH David in Owensboro, Kentucky. Welcome back, buddy. And ZL2STP Sean in Gisborne, New Zealand. Yeah, welcome to the net, Sean. Let's take it to the top. The question of the night: if you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be? Pat and Harvest, KQ4 FHE.
Good evening, Alex, and everybody else on the net. This is KQ4 FHG. I'd like to hang out with Scooby-Doo. I like dogs. Back to you, Alex. Call my question.
Another one for Scooby. I got you down. Thanks, Pat. Your question is, okay, where are we? Here we are. The common house devices in the U.S. are banned in Austria, Portugal, and the Netherlands. A. Doorbell cameras. B. Garbage disposal. C. Self-cleaning litter boxes. Ain't moving to those countries, so what do you say, Pat?
Yeah, I'm going to go with B. Bravo.
Yeah, that's it. They ban garbage disposals in those countries. Apparently their sewage systems aren't that good, and if you put food down there, even though it's ground up, yeah, they have problems. So thank God for American plumbing. You got it, Pat. Thank you. This is W7 FTM in Scottsdale, Arizona, going next to John, South St. Parts, Minnesota, KC1 2PL. If you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be?
Well, good evening, Alex. Good evening, everyone, tonight. KC1 2PL. I would hang out with Mighty Mouse. You know, Mighty Mouse is my guy. What's
John, here I come to save the day. Here's your question. No, I don't sound like Mighty Mouse, right? I'm even going to attempt it. The opposite of infinity is, okay, I didn't know this one either. The opposite of infinity is A, 0, B, infinitesimal, or C, there is no opposite of infinity, it's infinity. What do you think, John?
Well, I finally got a question smarter than I am. Took you long enough. I would have to... Once upon a time, I think I could have told you the actual answer, but I would have to say that there really isn't any beginning or end to infinity, so it really has no opposite that I would go with. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's right. You don't miss them too often, and that's what I thought. There is no opposite of infinity. It's infinity, right? Well, no. According to the people that supposedly know better, the opposite of infinity is B, infinitesimal. Infinity is a number larger than all other numbers. Infinitesimal is a number smaller than all others, but it's still larger than 0. I think whoever came up with that would make a good used car salesman. Thanks. Thank you, John. Brian in Monticello, Kentucky, AC4BR. If you can hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be?
Well, good evening, Alex, and Kevin, Josh, I believe it was, and everybody else on the net. That is a good question. I like a lot of the answers. I'd be tempted to go with Foghorn, but I'm going to have to go with Garfield. He was kind of my original favorite cartoon, and I think he was quote-unquote born like a month before I was, so I'm going to stick with Garfield.
Got you down for the big yellow tabby, and your question, Brian, is how do the French eat a hamburger? How do the French eat a hamburger? A, they stick their tongues into the meat. B, with a large side of French fries. Or C, with a knife and fork.
Well, that's a good question. Can't say I know a whole lot about the French, but I'm going to say C, Charlie. And also, just as an aside, every time I hear the gentleman, I believe it's Andy, that's from Cheektowaga, I think of that train conductor on Bugs Bunny. But I can't remember what it is. But anyway, I'll turn it back to you, Alex. It's AC4BR.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Andy is very clever and been on this net just about every night since it started, so we appreciate having you and him on here. And you are correct. Yeah, the French eat a hamburger with a knife and a fork. Yeah. McDonald's restaurants in France give out cutlery with their hamburgers. At least the expensive ones. I don't know if they do it with the cheap ones or not, but yeah, I did know that. Thank you, John. Brian, I'm sorry, thank you. Thank you, Brian. Justin in Conroe, Texas, KJ5JNJ. Okay, if you can hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be?
KJ5JNJ, thank you very much, Alex, for doing the net. And I'm just going to have to go with Roadrunner, because that dude just cracks me up without even talking. So
I could imagine if we hang out for a while, he might even crack a joke or two, and it's just going to make me roll on the floor. Go ahead.
I actually have those guys in my front yard. They run by every now and then, and, well, actually both, coyotes and roadrunners. The roadrunners keep it low, though, because contrary to what the cartoon shows, the coyote can outrun a roadrunner. So. Anyway, your question is, speaking of McDonald's, the McDonald's in Sedona, Arizona, differs from their other restaurants in that, A, it's built into a sandstone cliff, B, the golden arches on the building are colored turquoise, or C, it's located on an ancient Indian burial ground and is haunted. You ever been to Sedona? What do you think?
Alex, there was a little glitch in your audio during A, the option A. Could you repeat that, please?
Yeah, no problem. Option A was it's built into a sandstone cliff.
I'm going to go ahead and say C.
Yeah, and I'm going to have to look that up to see if it was buried on an ancient Indian burial ground. Actually, it's B. Yeah. Boy, that is a hard question, isn't it? If you haven't been there, you would know this. The golden arches on the building are colored turquoise at the McDonald's in Sedona, Arizona. It's because Sedona has a rule that buildings cannot clash with the natural scenery surrounding them. And having seen this McDonald's, I can tell you, probably the best-looking McDonald's in the U.S. The food will still kill you, but at least you can eat in pleasant surroundings. Oh, and don't forget the Vortex McNuggets. Quite a treat. Thanks, Justin. Lynn in Houston, KI5WWU. If you can hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be?
Good evening, Alex. Thanks for running an always entertaining net. KI5WW, Lynn in Houston. That would be Lola Bunny. I'm ready for my question, sir.
Thank you, and got you down, and your question is... Okay, I got a Jeopardy-style question for you. The answer is the year 1307. The year 1307. What's the question? A, in what year was WB2 JPQ born? B, in what year was the Magna Carta signed? Or C, in what year was the first government attempt made to shut down fossil fuel emissions? What do you think, Lynn?
Don't know. I'm going to go with Alpha. Back to you, KI5WW.
Well, I think he was born a few years after that, but the correct answer to the year 1307 is C. And what year was the first government attempt made to shut down fossil fuel emissions? Again, how's that for obscure history? King Edward I of England, of course, tried to ban blacksmiths from using coal because everybody was choking to death from the burning coal. So that was the first attempt. So it's been around a while. Thanks. Thank you, man. Harold in Hillsborough, KC7ZZB. If you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be? Oh, in Hillsborough, KC7ZZB.
What happened? think it would be Wonder Woman, Alex. The invisible plane and the lasso of truth would be awful handy tools. I'm ready for my question.
I think you used her in a previous answer. You have this thing for Linda Carter, don't you? Well, maybe the later ones, I don't know, but yeah, I told you she went to high school a couple miles from me. Okay, your question is, hang on a second. What's the closest African country to the island of Madagascar? Another geography one. Is that A, South Africa, B, Mozambique, or C, England?
Africa, but I think it's Mozambique. KC7ZZB.
Yeah, I can't seem to stump you on the geography questions, can I? You're correct. Yeah, Mozambique is the closest African country to the island of Madagascar. But have you been to England lately? Thanks, thank you, Hal. The W7FTM in Scotts, Arizona, going next to New York City into YBS, and welcome to the SWL Trivia Net. Either for Benjamin or Ben, and if you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be?
Hi, this is NCYBS. I usually go by Ben. If I had to hang out with any cartoon character, I think it would be Rick from Rick and Morty. Ready for the question? Whenever.
Got you down for another Rick. Okay, Ben, your question is, geography again. Which place on Earth has the most time zones? The most time zones. Is that A, Russia, B, China, or C, Antarctica?
Want to say Antarctica?
That's good because that's correct. Yeah, Antarctica has the most time zones on Earth. Since it's located at the South Pole, all of the time zones in the world intersect the continent. You can be standing near the center of the South Pole, walk out a few feet, and make a circle and cross all the time zones in a few minutes. So, of course, the air's kind of thin at the South Pole. You might want to bring some oxygen and a jacket. Hey, thanks, Ben. I appreciate you playing. Let's go to Daryl in Lubbock, Texas, KC5ZX. Your CZX. Your question of the night is, if you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would you choose?
Well, Alex, it would have to be my boys Phineas and Ferb. So go ahead with the question, sir.
Yes, it is. Your question is, this might be the last geography question. I think so. What's the longest river in the United States? The longest river in the United States. A, the Mississippi River, B, the Missouri River, or C, the Colorado River.
I believe that is the Missouri River, sir. Go ahead.
Nicely done, Daryl. About 9 out of 10 people would say the Mississippi because that's what we've been kind of led to believe, but it is the Missouri River. It's 1 mile longer than the Mississippi, and although it carries much less water than the Mississippi, so I was wondering, if you get married in Mississippi and get divorced in Minnesota, are you still brother and sister? Not a for this man, I guess. Thanks, buddy. You got it. Let's go to David in Owensboro, Kentucky, W9DWH. If you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be, David?
Morning out, or good evening, Alex, and everyone on the net. Of course, back in our day, we did have Wonder Woman, and nowadays we have to wonder if it's a woman. I would have to say that they did make a cartoon about this a long time ago, The Mask. There'd never be a dull moment, and if I lit up one of my Marlboros, we'd both be smoking.
I think you have more dings than anybody on this net, David. Thank you for that. Wonder if it's a woman. Your question is, what does the term robot mean? Yeah, I didn't know this one either. What does the term robot mean? A, mechanical. B, servant. C, man.
No clue, so I'll start my guess at the top this time around and guess Alpha. Thanks for running the net, Alex. I hope to catch you next week. W9, you betcha.
Sorry, David, I missed your answer. What was that again?
A, Alpha.
Yeah, actually, robot means servant. B, servant. It comes from an old Slavic word meaning forced labor or servitude. So, yeah. If they ever become let's agree not to tell them that. All right, sentient. I think I have to worry. Thank you, David. Sean is born in New Zealand. Welcome to the net, ZL2STP. If you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be? I'm curious. I'm sure you have American cartoons there too, but maybe you have better ones. Maybe Jackson does cartoons there. I don't know. What do you say, Sean?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Peter Griffin from Family Guy.
I was wondering if Peter was going to pop up. Yes. Thank you, Sean. Got you down for Mr. Griffin. Your question is, which animal can go the longest without water? The longest without water, is that A, the bobcat, B, the vampire bat, or C, the kangaroo rat?
I'll go with Elliot on that one. Thanks, Alex, ZL2ECP.
Maybe it's on this, and I missed your answer again. One more time there, if you would, Sean.
Charlie. Thanks, Alex, ZL2ECP.
Yeah, it's correct. Kind of doubt if they have those in New Zealand, but yeah, they're native to the southwest U.S. The kangaroo rat can go the longest without water. It's thanks to its kidneys and its ability to produce metabolic water within its own body. Kangaroo rats can live their entire life without ever drinking a drop of water. Thank you, Sean. Frank in Sugarland checked in on the text line KG5 DXB, or dead. DXB. Sorry about that, Frank. If you can hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be?
KJ5DXB, good evening to you, Alex, and everybody out there. I think I would like to hook up with Betty Rubble. Back to you, sir.
Oh, that's right. She was really attractive, yeah. And not a redhead like Wilma. Your question, just a joke, redheads. I'm just kidding. The question, Frank, is Henry Poincaré was the first person, the first person to A, go off Niagara Falls in a barrel, B, present the theory of relativity, or C, tell the, hey doc, it hurts when I do that, so don't do that joke. What did old Henry do?
Well, I think I'm going to go with Niagara Falls. Back to you, sir. KJ5DXB, thanks for the check-in.
I wonder who the first guy was to go over knife, falls in a barrel. I hope his name wasn't the same. That would be embarrassing. Actually, Henry Poincaré was the first person to present the theory of relativity. Yeah, despite having read his work, Albert Einstein never gave credit to Poincaré for borrowing his work. So, yeah, because everybody thinks Einstein came up with it, but nope. Thanks. Thank you, Frank. All right. At the bottom of the list, this is W7FTM in Scottsdale, Arizona, along with K7K Kevin and K4KU Jason logging the net, taking more check-ins for the Trivia Net. Full call sign slowly, phonetically twice, please. Whiskey Delta 8, Papa India Charlie. Whiskey Delta 8, Papa India Charlie. Okay, then we picked up Bob in Slovenia, Ohio. Welcome back. And WD8PIC. Question of the night, if you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would you choose, Bob? I think I would choose Scooby. I just like the program. Oh, shucks. And, I'm ready for a question. It's down for Scooby, Bob, and I think I did a trivia question a year or two ago about that the Scooby-Doo cartoon is based on the Dobie Gillis TV show, the Loves and Lives, or whatever, the Loves of Dobie Gillis. It's kind of what they based it on. And, of course, Bob Denver played anyway. Your question is, what is the name of George Bailey's guardian angel in the film It's a Wonderful Life? His guardian angel, was it A, Dudley, B, Clarence, or C, Rambo? I will go with Bravo. Yep, you got it. Clarence it was. George Bailey's guardian angel. And Dudley, I think, was the name of the character from a... God, I can't think of the name of the movie. It's one of my wife's favorites. But he was a guardian angel from another movie, but it was Clarence. Who we were looking for. Thanks, Bob. Appreciate you playing, buddy. All right, more check-ins for the Eternite Trivia Net. One more and we'll have 40. Just saying. Full call sign phonetically twice, please.
HU4 BTZ Kilo Quebec 4 Bravo Papa Zulu.
Okay, Ralph, thanks for checking in and making it 40. I appreciate that, buddy. KQ4 BPZ. How do you get your call sign, right? KQ4 BPZ. The question of the night, if you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be?
Alright, I'm sorry Henry for extending the net, but I really take strong issue with this question that you asked. A lot of the folks out there say Jessica Rabbit, and yes, Jessica Rabbit is a solid choice. But I'm 50 years old. I'm old enough to remember when Hasbro killed off Optimus Prime, and they put this guy, Rodimus Prime, with the Matrix of Command. Originally, it was Ultra Magnus. He didn't want it. That was voiced by Robert Stack in the movie, by the way. And Rodimus Prime, really reckless, very unexperienced. Meanwhile, there was this triple changer, Springer. He had a girlfriend named Arcee, and he transformed from a helicopter to an armored transport trooper to a robot. And this is the guy that the Autobots should have chosen to replace Optimus Prime after his untimely death in 1986, Alex. It's almost been 40 years, and I'm still, I don't think enough awareness has gone out on this topic. But anyways, hit me with a trivia question. Go ahead.
Hi, Rob. How could they do that? I mean, I better stop doing what nerds we are here. Your question is, okay, the first draft of Robert Louis Stevenson's The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde was kind of like that storyline goes further back. Was destroyed when A, his werewolf ate it, and B, his wife burned it because she thought it was garbage, or C, his publisher accidentally dropped into the Thames River. What happened to that first draft of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde?
I barely understood the question because I'm so heated. I'm so passionate about the whole Optimus Prime replacement thing. They should have chose Springer. But I'm going to go with Charlie. His dumb widow dropped it in a river. Go ahead.
Okay, you kind of combined two answers there, but you said widow, so I'm going to take that. Yeah, it's B. His wife burned it. His publisher didn't drop it in the Thames River by accident. His wife burned it because she thought it was garbage. So, like my wife wanting to burn some of my amateur radio sometimes. The story came to Stevenson in the middle of a coke-fueled nightmare. Oh, that would explain that. His wife Fanny woke him up, and he immediately drafted up a 30,000-word manuscript, which he believed was the greatest work he'd ever written. Fanny disagreed, calling it utter nonsense, and lit the whole thing on fire. Now, to his credit, instead of killing her, Stevenson rewrote the story and allowed his wife to help. Boy, that's a nice guy. She had more constructive criticism then, including the idea that the transformation of the Doctor should represent the deep inner struggle of being human, instead of just because it sounded good, and he incorporated that to the second draft, so she actually made the story a little bit better. Thanks, Rob. I hope my explanation wasn't as long as yours. Hey, you got it, buddy. Appreciate you. Appreciate you playing. Anybody else, will call sign phonetically twice, please, and we'll get you a question. Anyone, anywhere, want to check into the Saturday Night Trivia Net, full call sign phonetically twice, please.
KD1 Prime, KJ9Y.
KD2MSX. KD2MSX.
Okay, hi there. We have Bob in Tolleson, Arizona. AJ9Y. How you doing, Chicago Bob? Tyler in Wading River, New York, KD2MSX. And I think that was John in there coming back, KC1QPL in South St. Paul. All right, Bob, if you can hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be? Dave the Pilot? Just kidding.
Now, I might need a while to think about that. Has anybody mentioned Betty Boop?
Oh, just me when I was talking to one of our more senior members, but Betty Boop will take it. And your question is, wait a minute, where are we? Here we go. Which of the following locations is ranked the best for body surfing? The best in the world for body surfing? I'm sure you've done that before, Bob. You're, like I have. Is it A, Tehupu, Tahiti, B, Puerto Escondido, Mexico, or C, Chicago, Illinois? What's the best place in the world for body surfing?
My goodness. That's a very good question. You know what? I tell you, Chicago definitely has some waves coming out of Lake Michigan, and you can certainly body surf. That's the best, though. I'm going to go with Escondido. AJ9 Mike. Great to hear you tonight.
Thank you, Bob, from Chicago. I was kind of relating to the crime rate, but you knew that. Okay. It's actually Tehupu, Tahiti. Yeah, I had no idea. Yep, that's the best place in the world. I tried body surfing once, but I'll never do it again. It took 3 hours just to find a funeral home that would rip me a corpse, and it's the stiffest board I ever used, so forget that. Thanks. Thank you, Bob. Tyler, Wading River, New York, KD2MSX. If you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be?
If I were to choose a cartoon character, it would have to be Scooby-Doo's best friend, Shaggy. I think that guy's got a great taste in food, and it looks like I'd be hooking up with another ham there, too. All right, ready for my question.
I think I talked to that guy on 80 meters. Yeah, that's the Bob Denver character. From the old TV show I was trying to think of. Billy Gillis. Your question is, the Canary Islands. The Canary Islands are named after A, birds, B, seals, or C, Spanish explorer Quesadilla Canaria.
This is a tough question for me. I'm just going to take a shot in the dark, and I'll go A, Alpha.
Yeah, which is what most people think. Canary Islands, it must be canaries there. Well, no. Actually, it's named after seals. Canaria is a Latin word for dog, named after the sea dogs, or seals, found on the main island. I know seals are called sea dogs. Anyway, I went to the Canary Islands once, and I didn't see a single canary, so I know that's for a fact. And I went to the Virgin Islands, and I didn't see any canaries there either, so I don't know why they name things the way they do. But thank you, Tyler. I appreciate you checking in. Let's go to John in South St. Paul, Minnesota. John, did you get in before, or did you have a, what do they call it, a reboot, a recheck, whatever it is? Come on.
Yeah, I just had a recheck with your Albert Einstein question. Not too many people are aware of that. But yeah, he published his theory of general relativity prior to Einstein. And that's a fact. Anyway, that's all I had. KC12BL.
Yeah, thanks, John. That's why I like to do that question. It's one of those that hardly anybody knows, and they'll always think Einstein. Oh well, truth is the truth, I guess. Thanks, buddy. All right, taking more check-ins. Full call sign, phonetically twice, please, and we'll get you a trivia question.
Please check in Kilo Yankee 4 Yankee Quebec, KY4IQ, Chris.
W9JAY, Whiskey 9 Juliet, Alpha Yankee.
All right, pick up two more. We got Christopher in Rock Hill, South Carolina, KY4YQ, and W9JY, Jay in Sealy, Texas. Welcome back, Jay. And question of the night, if you could hang out with any cartoon character, I know it sounds like something you hear on the Youth Net, but that's okay. Who would it be? Any cartoon character, Christopher, Chris in Rock Hill, KY4YQ. KY4YQ. Chris, are you there?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me? I guess maybe Superman. I don't. Well, Superman. Other than that, yeah, I don't know. I would guess Superman. The Jen in New York.
He'd be definitely good to have around in a fight. That's catch you down with his Superman. And oh, by the way, the Usenet's questions are probably a lot more intelligent than mine. I didn't mean to degrade the Usenet by.
Did that control that come through?
Chris, your question is, what color is water? What color is water? A, clear, it has no color. B, light blue. Or C, brown if you live in Flint, Michigan. What do you say?
Net, KY4YQ, I'll be standing by.
Well, it dropped out just as you gave your answer, so come back with your answer again. I do it phonetically a couple times just to make sure we have it. Alrighty then, next, yeah, the color of water is B, light blue. Yeah. And it's not just the reflection of the sky. Pure water has a light blue tint to it. I always thought it was clear, but yeah. Thank you, Chris. Jay in Sealy, Texas, W9JY. How you doing, Jay? If you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be? Somebody from the old trucking industry, maybe? No, maybe not.
Oh, I wish I had some more time to think about that, but right off the top of my head, I'd say Yosemite Sam. You help me go shoot stuff up. Go ahead, Alex.
Is Lot Blizzard a cartoon character? Not, she should be. Okay, your question, Jay, is what color? Another one of these. What color? What color is blueberry jam? Blueberry jam. Is it A, blue, B, purple, C, red?
I would say B, purple. You know, it wouldn't be right if it was blue. That'd be a nice day anyway.
Yeah, they could make it that simple, but yeah, you're right. Yep. Blueberry jam is purple. So the blueberries themselves are kind of a dark blue, but the jam, you mix the other stuff in, it turns purple. Thank you, Jay. You got it, buddy. Thanks for checking in. Anyone else like to check in? The Saturday Night Trivia Net, full call sign, and click twice, please, and we'll get you a question. Last call for the Saturday Night Trivia Net, full call sign, and click twice, please. Okay, let's see how we did tonight. 44 people checked in tonight. Thanks to everybody who checked in. We do appreciate that. And of those who did check in and were in and out, we have 27 people got their question correct, and only 16 people missed their question. And see, it's about 62% to 37%. And the question of the night, which cartoon character would you like to hang out with? It looks like Scooby Foghorn took the most on that, with Jessica Rabbit pulling a close third place. So anyway, we'll figure this all out later, but that's the results we have so far. Anyway, I'd like to thank everybody once again who participated tonight, with special thanks, of course, to Kevin, KE7K, and Jason K4KU for logging the net in the background. Great job, guys. I hardly had to look up at anything. So we now return control of the East Coast Reflector back to you until next week at the same time, when the control voice will take you to the Saturday Night Trivia Net. 7 to 8, good night. W7 FTM class.
W7 FTM, KK7OGC, and everyone else. I actually got to meet Mel Blanc in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and he actually did his voices. He was wonderful to see. I had to see him. Anyway, KK7OGC, I'll be clear.
He was a great talent, and on his gravestone is written, "That's all, folks." So, great sense of humor too. Yeah, thanks, W7FT, appreciate that.
KY4YQ, I'll be clear. South Carolina. Well, good night, John.
Yeah, I misspoke. I said Josh. It was actually Jason, K4KU, 18-4VR. Also, does anybody else think of Lionel Richie whenever Alex or anybody says K4KU? No, maybe it's just me.
Thanks, Alex, and Vicky for another great net. And Alex, I was really hoping that that was a serious question on what year the Godfather was born. Hi. See you guys all next week. KF6HDJ.
This is K4KU. Have a great night, everyone. We'll find out there. Thanks again. W7 with you.
This is SWL. Just wanted to thank you guys for a great net. We'll all be hanging around, so. Excellent.